Governor Rick Perry.
Governor Perry, I want to ask you about this because you've raised this issue yourself about Governor Romney, and you're running as a politician with strong convictions. From the flip side, Ronald Reagan raised taxes when the deficit got too big. George W. Bush supported TARP and the auto bailout when he thought we might have faced a Great Depression, second Great Depression. Does examples like that tell you that good, effective leaders need to show the kind of flexibility that Governor Romney has showed on some issues?
The next president of the United States needs to send a powerful message, not just to the people of this country, but around the world, that America is going to be America again, that we are not going to pick winners and losers from Washington, D.C., that we're going to trust the capital markets and the private sector to make the decisions and let the consumers pick winners and losers. And it doesn't make any difference whether it's Wall Street or whether it's some corporate entity or whether it's some European country. If you are too big to fail, you are too big.
30 seconds to you. Do you think that companies can both be profitable and be able to create jobs? Do you think it's a dichotomy? Do you think they can do it?
They better be, and that's the reason the tax plan that I laid out, a 20% flat tax on the personal side and a 20% corporate tax rate, that will get people working in this country. We need to go out there and stick a big old flag in the middle of America that says, open for business again.
Governor Perry, every quarter I get to report the GDP figures, and it's a negative number for housing, and we've lost some 2 million construction jobs. Housing creates jobs as well, doesn't it?
Not a negative number in Texas, and one of the reasons is because we have put policies into place that follow my plan to get America back working again.
Okay, so translate that plan to America.
When you look at what I've laid out, whether it's the energy side and getting the energy industry going, and Rick Santorum is absolutely correct on that, is let's get our energy industry freed up, federal lands, federal waters, pull back all of those regulations. Everybody on this stage understands it's the regulatory world that is killing America. The tax side of it, yeah, have a flat tax. Have a corporate flat tax in there as well. But the real issue facing America are regulations. It doesn't make any difference whether it's the EPA or whether it's the federal banking, the Dodd-Frank or Obamacare. That's what's killing America. And the next president of the United States has to have the courage to go forward, pull back every regulation since 2008, audit them for one thing. Is it creating jobs or is it killing jobs? And if that regulation is killing jobs, do away with it.
You have all said that you will repeal President Obama's health care legislation. Down the line, 30 seconds. If you repeal Obamacare, what's the answer? 30 seconds. Governor Perry.
Obviously, on the Medicare side, you have to have an insurance type of a program where people have options of which give them a menu of options of which they can choose from. I think you have to have the doctors and the hospitals and the other health care providers being given incentives on health care rather than sick care. And then on Medicaid, it's really pretty simple. Just like John and Mitt both know, you send it back to the states and let the states figure out how to make Medicaid work, because I'll guarantee you we will do it safely, we will do it appropriately, and we will save a ton of money.
Governor Perry, you play only home games in Texas. Do you give him points for winning on the road?
Listen, there is a reason that Caterpillar moved their hydraulics manufacturing and their engine manufacturing to the state of Texas. It didn't have anything to do with Republican versus Democrat. It had everything to do with creating a climate in our state where the job creators knew that they were going to have the opportunity to keep more of what they work for. And that's what Americans are looking for. They're looking for a tax plan that basically says you're going to be able to keep more of what you work for. They're looking for a regulatory climate that doesn't strangle the life out of their businesses when they want to put those dollars out there to create the wealth. That's what Americans are looking for. I think we're getting all tangled up around an issue here about can you work with Democrats or can you work with Republicans? Yeah, we can all do that. But the fact of the matter is we better have a plan in place that Americans can get their hands around, and that's the reason my flat tax is the only one of all the folks, these good folks on the stage. It balances the budget in 2020. It does the things to the regulatory climate that has to happen, and I will tell you, it's 3 agencies of government when I get there that are gone. commerce, education, and the, what's the third one there? Let's see.
You need 5.
Oh, 5. Okay. So commerce, education, and the
EPA?
EPA. There you go. No, okay.
Let's talk deficit.
Seriously? Is EPA the one you were talking about? Or?
No, sir. No, sir. We were talking about the agencies of government. EPA needs to be rebuilt. There's no doubt about that.
But you can't name the third one?
The third agency of government,
yeah.
I would do away with the education, the commerce, and let's see. I can't. The third one I can't. Sorry. Oops.
Governor Perry, name the top programs that you would cut in terms of long-term deficit reduction. Include Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, and defense spending in the order you see fit.
Well, every one of those, and by the way, that was the Department of Energy I was reaching for a while ago. So here's what we have to look at as Americans, and it's the entitlement programs that are eating up this huge amount of money that's out there. And it's also the spending, Congressman Paul. And those, when you look at Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, and those unfunded liabilities, I think are over $115 trillion just in those 3 programs. Those are the places where you go where you have to make the really hard decisions in this country.
So what is your order? And you didn't mention defense spending.
Well, obviously, Social Security is one of those where we either can go to a blended type of a program where we blend price and wages and come up with a program and can save billions of dollars there. But the people who are on Social Security, they need to understand something today. It's going to be there for them. Those that are working their way towards Social Security, we've made a pledge to them that those individuals are going to have those dollars there for them. But the young people out there, who's going to stand up for the young people in this country, those that are at the workforce today, and stand up and say, we're going to transform this program so it's going to be there for you? Well, Governor, I will do that. I will stand up for the young people in this country and put a program into place that will be there for them.
Speaking of young people, quick answer. Do you agree with Congressman Paul that we should kill the federal student loan program?
I happen to think there are a substantial number of ways. As a matter of fact, I've called for a $10,000 graduate
But would you kill
program.
the federal student loan program?
I don't think the federal government should be in the business of paying for programs and building up huge debt out there. I think we need to look at how do you force these universities? How do you force these universities to be efficient? And one of the ways is that the governors who appoint the trustees, they step in and they basically say, listen, you are going to have graduation rates that are moving upwards. You're going to have tuition that is moving down. You have to have control over those boards of regents if that's how you do it, or the legislature have to have control. But the bottom line is we have to put powerful economic forces into place. And one of those is using our technology to be able to let our kids have the opportunity to get an education through long-distance learning, for instance.
Thank you, Governor.
Governor Perry, same question to you. Same question to you and Congressman Ron Paul. How do you restore faith in the public markets?
Well, we have the regulations in place, and we had the regulations in place well before the meltdowns occurred. We have a culture in Washington, D.C., where these corporate lobbyists have these cozy relationships with the people that they're regulating. And we have to have leadership in this country that not only recognizes that, but demands that those individuals who are working for us are in those agencies, whether it's in the stock market or whether it's at Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. And when there are individuals who are breaking the laws, who are pushing the bounds, that there are clear efforts that are made to take those people either out of those jobs or prosecute them for criminality. One of the two. That has to happen. And you can pass legislation, like you said, until the world looks level. But you've got to have men and women who are committed to the laws of this country and a president that will push his administration to make sure that they're done.